What's going on, shit stains? It's your boy Dennis Graves. You might know me as your own very own Roger Goodell, head honcho, guy in charge, face that runs the place, your lead commish. I'm here to say hello and welcome to year 6, season 6, the 6th installment of the Dazed and Confused Fantasy Football League. Not gonna lie, guys, it's been a tough ride, tough unorthodox build-up coming up to this season. August came and I really didn't think we were gonna run it. Hadn't planned a draft order, haven't seen if everyone's coming back. Haven't thought about changes we're gonna have to make with the world right now to the league, and I was losing hope. Eventually, I was able to have people around me help devise good plans and methods on what to do with this very weird and unorthodox season. We now have the 4 IR spots just in case anyone gets COVID and needs to sit out fucking 2 weeks. We have the lowered fare to $25, lowering weeklies back to $5. That's a look at you, Devin. Fuck you. And also we have the cancellation week 8 or prior clause to where everyone will just get a refund if the season is prematurely ended. So I think that's everything that we could prepare for. Now, to be able to go through all this, to think of all this, to have all these conversations with people on what to do, it took a real passion and effort. And the driving force that this effort came from was the lack of joy I would have of not being able to shit on you trash cans on a weekly basis in a fictional football league. You know, I've become so competitive in this league to where I think I literally hate everyone in this draft. My own blood, my own sweat and blood is going to be in this draft. And Vinny, I know you're watching this. I fucking hate you, kid. You're scum. Little scummy boy. Now, I'll be honest here, Vinny isn't the only scummy boy. So I thought might as well just go down a list, see everyone we have participating here. So first one I have here is Finn Denhard, a 5-year pro. To crack down Finn, let's just say, hasn't had the best start to his fantasy career. He's the only 5-year pro to not crack 30 wins yet so far overall. It's not that good. If fantasy football was like a public pool, fun fact, that's where I met Finn when he was a part of swim team. If life was like a public pool, Finn's just hovering in the shallow end, right? He's not really doing nothing. Not really floating. He's just by himself with the little kiddos. Still not getting fully in the water. So Finn's got to really pick it up if he wants to start making a name for himself in this league. Next on the list, we have Mateo. Mateo's back in the league. Is he blonde? Is he blonde right now? I actually haven't seen him. Devin has him on his website as a blondie, but maybe it's not blonde. Maybe it's like the little end blonde where it just grows out. Maybe he hasn't gotten a cut yet. Maybe it's fucking green. Who knows what this guy has, but he's like the Bengals back in the day. I know it's imagine how bad the Bengals are now. It might be where his trajectory's going, but he's kind of like the Bengals back in the day, having good regular seasons and winless in the playoffs. This man Mateo is just call him Andy Dalton. He's Andy Dalton, the Colombian Rocket. Andy Dalton. Next on the list I have is B-Cuts. Now, B-Cuts, very run-of-the-mill player, I feel like. He's a 5-year pro, made the playoffs twice. It's not bad. But he's never won more than 7 games. He's made the playoffs twice. He's won 7 and 6 both seasons. And then other than that, nothing. He's quiet. And if he's having a bad start to his season, expect a Josh, Greg, Tony-ish trade where he gives them Robert Woods for Saquon Barkley. And that's not a fake trade. That is a real trade that went down. That is a real trade he obtained. And I'll try to explain it that Robert Woods was a top 5 receiver at the time. Dude is a scammer. Don't listen to him, Josh. All of you, dude will scam you if he starts doing bad. He's a scammer. That's what he does. Or demand a rule change way late in the season. So Overall, B cuts 32 and 33 in the 5 seasons. If that doesn't say run of the mill, I don't know what is. Very average guy. Not really too scared of him. Next on the list, actually, to save some time, I'm just going to put Greg and Tony together. Very similar. Both 4-year players. They came after year 1 and have been here ever since. Tony's 24 and 28. Greg is 26 and 26. So they're winning their games, middle of the pack, but Tony's and his 24 and 28 record, -4 overall, has made the playoffs 3 out of 4 years. Greg twice out of 4 years. These guys are making the playoffs, and I don't even know if they're playing half the time. I'll check their rosters, and they have people on IR, which means they're done for the year. And it doesn't make sense. One time, he had a player named CJ Anderson, who was a running back for the Panthers, got cut, and he kept him for like 9 weeks on his team. A player that's not on a team. CJ Anderson gets picked up and starts for the Rams when Tom Gurley's hurt, and Greg never dropped him. And he's just on his roster. Not using him, of course, because you don't think Greg's playing. And these guys just win. They'll make the playoffs. Years that I don't, and it just doesn't make sense to me. I'm more scared of Greg and Tony than I am of Brian. But actually, what the fuck am I saying? Not scared of these guys at all. I don't know if they're playing. I couldn't get a hold of Greg for like 4 days. He said he left his phone somewhere. Where the fuck are you going without your phone for 4 days? This is 2020. Who are you? What's going on? Next person on the list, we got Philly D, Philip Presto. Same record as Brian in 5 years. Again, another 5-year player, 32 and 33 overall. Again, made the playoffs twice. Very similar to Brian, very middle of the pack, but a little difference between him. Phil does make trades, but he does not pick up anybody. He's not very active on the waivers. And his season gets determined at the draft. And sometimes, I think it was like 1 or 2 seasons where his team was good drafted, he doesn't pick up anybody, and they don't get hurt. So he just did like super well, especially one season I remember. But other than that, if Phil gets 1 or 2 injuries, last year a bit unlucky more than injuries with some matchups, but overall, like, if Phil gets 1-2 injuries, Phil's donezo. I'm gonna combine Josh and Vinny at this point because they both played 3 seasons, but they've had very different 3 seasons. Vinny is 23 and 16 in his 3 seasons, which is a +7. That's honestly very surprising. I was not expecting him to have that well of a run. Some of his pickups are weird, but they'll do well. And one thing I'm super jealous of is how much he spanks Mark. Spanks him in the regular season, in the postseason. Mark's only postseason loss, Vinny spanked him. It's amazing to see, and honestly, the one thing I'm jealous of. Now, Josh has had a very unfortunate run. Josh has won 8 games in 3 seasons. That's less than 3 wins a year. I want him to win so bad because he's making trades, he makes pickups, and he sets his lineup. He's trying, but God, 8 wins. I want Josh to beat me. Like Jesus. He tries, so he's one person I don't actually hate. And I always said I hated everyone in here. Josh, keep doing you, bro. You're doing great. Keep trying. You're really going at it. But again, both inferior to me. Self-explanatory. Now we're getting to the scummiest of the scum in terms of the players. I call them the scummy mummies. And the first scummy mummy I'm talking about is Devin. Devin, incredible season last year. Super Bowl. He blew it, having the best record of all time. Kind of like his team he supports, but that's beside the fact. Also, with this best record of all time, 11-2, you know he's still under 500 overall in all 5 years? He's 32 and 33. Just like Brian and Phil, those shitters. He went 11-2 last year. Now, I'm just going to follow the trends and say last year was a fluke. 4 out of 5 years, dude sucks ass. I'm going to assume he's going to suck ass again. It's just how it is. But getting to the 2 worst people in the league, the 2 former champions. Yes, a 5-year fantasy league only has 2 champions. It's very unfortunate. Everyone here needs to step it up. especially because these guys are the two worst possible winners we could have had. Austin, last year, good run, beats Devin, kind of like my Giants beat Devin's Patriots, you know? Just a good fairy tale story. But then the season before, he won 6 and 7. That's luck. I might credit it because the first 3 years he was also ass. So overall, this guy Austin's just a lucky guy. He gets lucky matchups, lucky wins, but this is the year his luck runs out. He's done. And thinking of someone who's even probably more washed than him is Mark. Caught the league on fire. First time doing fantasy like this, and he's winning like a madman. I've been a recipient. I caught a playoff loss to him in year 1. It's a tough scene, but not only did he have a tragic loss in the playoffs from a dropped Ian Thomas ball. He could have went to the bowl, but he didn't. And then last year was rock bottom. This guy's just washed. He can't really just gather his ideas. He drafted Juju Smith-Schuster and James Conner last year, and he will to this day defend that decision. Dude just doesn't know what's right or wrong anymore. Little head up there, not working, not operating. Dude's got dementia. James Conner and Juju, dementia. Dude's crazy. Just like that. That's everyone in the little league, every little scummy boy. Now, overall, reading all that out, everyone's inferior to me, bro. I have the most points scored in all of the league, in all 5 seasons combined. I have 200 points scored more than Mateo. I have 3 less wins. How to describe my run so far? Unlucky. But my luck's about to pick up. I'm about to go off this year. Y'all about to see it. Y'all about to be the front row seats to the show. And it all starts at draft night on the Zoom. Y'all better be ready, because I'll be ready. Y'all better done your research. Been doing my research. Now let's see if we can shake things up and maybe get a new championship. Might buy a belt or something, you know, when I win this year. Might give myself a little WWE strap. Now, have I been amping up the shit talking just so I could get everyone kind of going? Yeah. Honestly, I kind of want everyone to really start trying this year. Like making a lot of, because towards the end of the year, there's only like 3 or 4 people like heavy on waivers. I kind of want that going all year. Kind of want everyone trying all year. That'd be really fun. I'm glad this is happening just because fantasy is honestly a fun way that I could still connect with you guys and just overall just have a good time. So thankful that this is happening. Thankful that everyone's paid me except for Josh. Josh, coming for you. But yeah, I'm just happy we're finally getting this going, boys. It's very exciting. Now I'll see you all tomorrow on the Zoom.